Alright, sorry about the background noise. Nothing I can do about it. I'm going to try to quickly go over a cast iron top resurfacing procedure. I first learned about this about a decade ago from a fellow by the name of Jack Forsberg. He's an architectural woodworker up here in Canada. He stores a lot of Watkins burst green like machinery, old machinery and whatnot. He does a beautiful job of it. Check him out on YouTube. But I learned this from him, like I said, about a decade ago, and I've been using it ever since. It cuts the time down, it does a fantastic job, I love it. But there's a couple things that his videos don't necessarily show, some of the more basic stuff too. Let's go over. So something like this top has been used in a garage workshop for quite a while. There's stuff all over it. We got some pitch, we got some varnish in the tracks. Same with the wings, cast iron wings are the same way. But I'm going to show the main center area because this is the harder part. If you can do this, you can do the wings. The wings is really easy. So the things we're going to use for this is some different grades or grits of Scotch-Brite. If you can only get one, you want to get green. If you can only get one, green is the one to get because it's a medium abrasive. The white is the lightest that I have. The gray, I think, is the next lightest. The red or the maroon, it's pretty coarse. I've got a rust eraser, absolutely not necessary, but it is nice. I bought this from a company called Lee Valley Tools. It fits exactly in these miter slots, and it is fantastic. We're going to be using an angle grinder. If you don't have an angle grinder, you could try using like a dual action sander or maybe even a random orbit. I don't know how well it would work, but you could try that. We're going to be using a uncrimped, just a general cut brush, a wire brush. Now to help with cleaning, I got some blade cleaner. This is CMT's orange cleaner. It doesn't really matter what you use. If you don't have that, you can use some lacquer thinner or something. But this stuff seems to do a pretty good job of breaking down all the pitch and stuff. We're going to use some brake clean to clean everything all up. And last thing we're going to do is we're going to apply glide coat to the top of this. Other people prefer using a furniture polish wax, that kind of thing. There's different ways you can do it. Main thing is just get something on this to protect it. I like this because it lasts a long time, but you know, it's user preference. And then of course there's the one thing you probably want to have some safety stuff for. A little respirator is not a bad idea. Of course your glasses, you know, all the normal stuff you go with. Now I'm not going to go on about safety, you just have to choose your own level of how comfortable you are with what. The one thing I will say about safety is anytime using a wire wheel, you have to wear eye protection. That's all there is to it. And then the other thing I usually use is I have a carbide scraper. I'll often use that. If you're careful with it, it can work really well in cast iron. You could also use like a flat blade razor scraper or even a utility knife. This stuff's not hazardous, really, that I know of. Like, that's not the reason I'm wearing gloves. I'm just wearing gloves because it gets quite messy. And your hands start getting pretty black. Of course, the important part is make sure you get your leveling points for your throat plate. And let this sit for about 10 minutes, and then we'll hit it with a brush. An unfortunate find here I didn't notice before is not necessarily the saw mark, although that's not great. It looks like someone has dropped this before because we have broken casting. We got a crack that runs here, then it runs down. And it almost connects fully up with this other crack that runs up into here. That's enough to be a problem. If it was just the start of one small crack, I probably wouldn't worry about it. However, because this crack here pretty well completely takes a chunk out of this corner, and then there's another crack running up into, almost into the top. That's an issue. I'm going to fix that up. I'm going to try to do it really carefully. So hopefully I do not have to send this out to be reground. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Okay, this stuff's been soaking for a bit. Next step I do is I take a little bit of the green Scotch-Brite. I just use these surgical style scissors for cutting the stuff. They seem to work pretty good with it. And I'm not really trying to redo the finish here. All I'm looking for is stuff that's still stuck on. You'll feel it with the Scotch-Brite. It'll kind of grab. If your top's not in this bad a shape, you can always just use some shop towel instead of a Scotch-Brite for this step. As I said earlier, you want to get this throat plate area done really well. You can see just by cleaning it how much of an improvement we've already made. All right, I'm going to start with the gray. You don't have to be precise, obviously. It helps to cut these corners off, keeps them from flapping around. I find if you leave the corners on, sometimes what will happen is the corner will catch an edge easier. And then, that's it. Now I got a variable speed angle grinder, which is kind of nice. If you got one, you can turn it down a bit. But I've done this with full speed angle grinders too, no problem at all. You just got to be a little bit more aware. It'll, if you lift up, it'll fling off a little easier, but other than that, no worries. Even that's a little slow. You can see how nice of a finish that leaves compared to like a standard wire wheel or sandpaper. Now you can take this finish down if you want. You can start getting where you're even starting to get like a bit of a mirror to it, and by all means, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But I really don't mind having just more of a utilitarian machine look. But anyways, that's the idea. That's the gist behind it. And as you can see, it's way faster, and it does a lot better job too. So yeah, there you go. All right, well, we got those things welded up, and they'll be good once we paint them up. Kept the table from warping, which was good. Took a while to do it, but this way we don't have to worry about grinding it, which is good because I don't have a surface grinder. All right, guys, well, hopefully that helps. I'm going to get this other wing done like the others I did, but I'm going to do it up on the bench because I'm getting kind of tired of working on the floor. It's a lot nicer to do it on the bench, but I just couldn't find a place to put this camera. So whatever, you make do, right? So anyways, hope that helps. And just sort of a before and after here, you can see the difference we got going on. This whole tabletop, from this bad of a condition to take it up to where it is, probably only 30 to 45 minutes if you're not trying to deal with the camera at the same time. Thanks again to Jack Forsberg for many years ago sharing this tip. So hopefully by me passing it along to you guys, some of you will find some value in it like I have. Anyways, thanks very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. I got some new parts that just arrived, and I'm really excited to show you and share with you this manufacture of aftermarket and upgrade Delta Rockwell parts. So that'll be cool. So I'll see you in the next one, and we'll talk about those. All right.